It was the early 1980s. Went to school one day, and Sam Bass turned up, and he pulled out of his bag an action figure like I'd never seen before. This guy was bigger than what we were used to, bigger than Star Wars figures. It was 5.5 inches, and he was jacked. I mean, the muscles, and he just looked like this vicious barbarian figure, and I knew I had to have a closer look. Now that day, Sam brought Ra from the Galaxy Warriors to school, and I was in love. I wanted this figure. I wanted all the figures, and I couldn't stop thinking about these figures. So I went home and I told my parents that Christmas was coming up, and for Christmas, I really wanted some of these Galaxy Warriors. Now when Christmas Day rolled around, I opened up some vintage Star Wars, some other toys. The things that really caught my eye is I got 3 Galaxy Warriors that day. I got Magnan, I got Devil, and I got Boltard. Now those figures were so awesome. I fantasized about what kind of storyline they could have, what vehicles could they have, creatures would they ride. And these things are heavily influenced by Frank Frazetta's style, 1970s fantasy, muscular guys, amazing beautiful woman, crazy scary beasts. It was the stuff that dreams were made of, and these figures represented them. Now that was a long time ago, and I can't remember which card back I had. The fact that I only really remember there being 4 figures, I'd like to say it's probably the Swords and Sorcerers cards by Alchemist Toys that I received. As time went on, I did learn more about Galaxy Warriors, and I did start to see other Galaxy Warriors turn up, the likes of Tiger Man, Triton, Huck, Dino Man, Sahak, Anubi. So I did learn more about them, but I never really received those as a kid. I eventually moved on to Masters of the Universe. The back of the card art that I received as a kid only showed 4 figures, and I had 3 of them. And it took me a long time to get Ra. In fact, as an adult collector, he was one of the harder ones to find, and it did take me a long time to track him down. But rounding out the initial 4 figures that were on that card art was like a dream come true, and super nostalgic to me. Being asked before in a fire, what would I grab? I would almost feel like I have to grab these 4 figures. They are replaceable, but they're not cheap these days, so I would probably just grab these. Amongst some other things. I mean, I don't think I'm going to fit an Eternia under my arm, but I can definitely grab these guys. Around about 1983, this form factor, this 5.5 muscular, squatty fantasy figure was all the rage, very popular in toy stores. Famous ones were the Warlord line by Remco. They also did Warrior Beasts. We had the Galaxy Warriors, Master Universe, and there's probably others that I'm forgetting right now. But in 1983, Mattel sued Remco over the Warlord line. This is because on the packaging, they had mentioned that these toys were compatible with Master of the Universe, and they'd used the trademark. Now, Mattel's lawsuit was the fact that on the packaging, they had referenced their property. So they took them to court, which they lost. So then that set the precedent regarding the compatibility notation on packaging. So this opened the gate for other toy lines and knockoff manufacturers to put on their packaging is compatible with Star Wars, is compatible with G.I. Joe, Master of the Universe. Now I've mentioned Swords and Sorcerers in relation to Galaxy Warriors. They are Galaxy Warriors, there's a slight difference, and all these toys were produced by SunGold in Hong Kong. There's not a lot of information out there, and what information isn't very clear. Due to the lawsuit issues, and Ra looking a whole lot like He-Man, Devil kind of being, I guess, similar in appearance to Skeletor, but not really. In the initial run there were 14 figures, and 2 of these being Ra and Devil, and 4 beasts, heavily influenced by Frank Frazetta artwork. Now around about this time, the lawsuit with Remco was probably going on, and I think maybe SunGold were worried about being sued themselves, so they removed Ra and Devil from the initial lineup, and it went back to being a line of 12 figures and 4 beasts. So if you're lucky enough to find one of the beasts, on the back of the package is some photos of prototype figures, and you won't see Ra and Devil on there. Now Alchemist Toys all seem to be made in Hong Kong, but Alchemist as a company and distributor seems to be based out of the UK. I feel like this is what I would have received back in 1984 in New Zealand when I received them for Christmas. An interesting thing to note about Alchemist Toys is there's promotional material out there showing a Galaxy Fighter on the Swords and Sorcerers card. Now Sunhawk is classically thought of as a Galaxy Fighter. Galaxy Fighters actually have different bodies, so they're pretty much complete different sculpts, other than they do share a few heads. Now the Galaxy Fighters come on a different card back with different art, again ripped straight from Frank Frazetta's art. There were different beasts, But Alchemist Toys seem to be blending Galaxy Warriors into Galaxy Fighters in their distribution and their advertising. Now, with Galaxy Fighters being made by Suco, not SunGold, and being different bodies, it's a bit ambiguous as to what the whole relationship is. Some people were wondering, is Suco SunGold? And eventually it turned into Solidco, so yeah, nobody really knows for sure. I'd love this information to get out there one day, and unfortunately it's very hard to research. And so for me, Galaxy Warriors did come first. They were on the toy shelves, they were what I saw, and they were what I wanted first. Although there was no other media, cartoons, comics to support it, I didn't care. Just the look of them, everything about them, I just fell in love with them then and there. And I don't know how long it was, maybe 6 months, 9 months, a year later, I did eventually see Master of the Universe. And of course, they just took over the playground. They were better sculpted, possibly more interesting characters, and of course they had action features, and they had mini comics. And yeah, the merch for that just went nuts. So yeah, I guess really He-Man did come first. Everyone else tried to imitate him, jump on the bandwagon, maybe, make compatible figures so that there was an alternative, they could just get in on the market. Now I want to say it was 1984 when I first got my Galaxy Warriors. And living in New Zealand in a small town, it felt like we got everything a lot later than the rest of the world. So I guess He-Man just arrived even later. And Galaxy Warriors, what I saw and what I fell in love with first. And then, of course, He-Man did come along, and yep, I did fall in love with the He-Man Master Universe. In fact, I've got a lifelong love of that franchise. And I'm still here today collecting the toys. I mean, I asked the question, how many versions of He-Man do I need? I don't need any more, but I keep on buying them. Now, I see a lot of love for these Galaxy Warriors and various knockoffs online. I feel like in certain countries, they were more prevalent, maybe because they were cheaper and kids got more of them, or the range of them. Who knows, but there's a big, deep fan base for them, and these days they actually fetch really good money, which is a bit sad if you're a collector. It means it's quite hard to be able to easily source and collect these, but I'm so glad I have the ones I have, and I'm always looking out for more. And so in this video, I really just wanted to showcase the Galaxy Warriors Sword and Sorcerers. This is where it all started for me. This is where my love Master Universe probably stemmed from. I would have loved it anyway, but just seeing these first, getting these first, having these in hand, playing with them, that's really where it all started for me. And so that being said, I've got a ton of nostalgia for these guys. And if I had to choose what I love more, Galaxy Warriors or Master of the Universe, that really is a tough one. You can't get away from the iconic Castle Grayskull, He-Man riding Battle Cat, Skeletor. I mean, this is pop culture royalty, right? Here we are, 40 years later, there's a new movie coming out, there's more interest in the line. Master of the Universe made its mark. It's one of the top 3 80s toy lines ever. But also some people, they finish collecting Master of the Universe vintage, and then they think, well, what else is there? What else did I play with as a kid? What else was in the toy box at the time? And the answer would be Galaxy Warriors. One way that I've acquired this collection is to buy up childhood lots of Master Universe toys. Usually, there's 1 or 2 weapons, maybe a couple of figures at the bottom of the box. And so this video really is just covering this little 4-figure subset. I didn't get too deep into the history. It's very confusing, and to be honest, it's not very exciting, especially with it being so ambiguous. I mean, nobody can say for certain. In upcoming videos, I will go back in depth and cover the other 12 figures from Galaxy Warriors and the 4 beasts. We'll move on to Galaxy Fighters. There's vehicles and beasts for that. And of course the unproduced Castle of Doom playset. And there's footage out there of the prototypes. Now some amazing creators have been doing their magic, and in the last year or two, there's a couple of different versions have come out. And I've actually got a 3D printed Castle of Doom sitting right here, ready to be finished. I need to tidy it up, I need to paint it. So that's coming, and honestly that will be like a centerpiece of my Galaxy Warriors collection. And it's just finding the time to get it finished, but I promise I will get there, and I can't wait to share it on this channel. And so in summary, who came first? Who hit the toy shelves first? For me, Ra, Magnon, Devil, Bolter. They hit the toy shelves first, but they weren't first, obviously. They were just cashing in on the success of Master of the Universe. But their legacy continues, and they're still loved to this day. And not only that, FOMO Toys has now released Warriors of the Galaxy. I had been hoping that somebody was going to pick up the license, even though I don't think you can buy the license. And now FOMO Toys with the Warriors of the Galaxy, they're reintroducing it and in a modern style, and they're also amazing, and I'd like to cover off the ones that I have at the moment. I only have Magnon, Boltard, and Huck. I think Spikes and Yig are available, so I hope you're picking those up soon, and I hope they make many more. The Galaxy Hull is now official due to their sort of mini comics slash stories that are being included with them. And so they're bringing in from all the various Galaxy Fighter, Galaxy Warrior, Combo Warriors, just all the lines are all coming together, and so I can't wait to see how far they take that. So I'd love to hear your memories of Galaxy Warriors. Were you disappointed to get them as a kid? Did an auntie buy them for your birthday when you actually asked for a 2-bad or a web store? Did you love them? Do you still collect them? What part of the world do you live in? Were they more common than Master of the Universe? Were they more popular than Master of the Universe? Now, I appreciate all the support for this channel. I'd love to hear your input. What else would you like me to cover? So thanks for joining me, for coming down this little trip down memory lane, reminiscing about Galaxy Warriors, Swords and Sorcerers. Very special to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just Ramageddon. Come and check it out. Come join the community. See the fun things that I post. It's not just Galaxy Warriors. It's all the things out of my collection. When I visit people and see their collections, I like to share that with you. So there it is, Galaxy Warriors, Swords and Sorcerers, where it all began. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have already, thank you so much. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on these? Do you want to collect them? Have you already collected them? Are you collecting the variants? All that good stuff. Let me know in the comments. I will see you on the next one.
Trip down the galaxy, oh, where warriors and